secret to living longer might not be in a lab, a supplement, or some hidden miracle. Across Japan, entire communities quietly celebrate birthdays past 100. Their longevity doesn't come from magic, it comes from movement, mindset, and quiet rituals that shape how they eat, breathe, and connect. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore 6 longevity moves practiced across Japan. Simple actions backed by science and tradition. Imagine eating until you're just satisfied, walking through a forest that lowers your stress hormones, or drinking tea that shields your cells like armor. Do these small choices, done daily for 30 days, really change your body and your mind? Let's find out what happens when ancient wisdom meets modern science, and maybe discover how to add more calm and more years to our own lives. Number 1. Hara Hachi-bu. In Okinawa, Japan, mealtime begins not with a rush, but with a reminder. Hara Hachi-bu. It means eat until you're 80% full. Imagine a dinner table where everyone pauses before eating, repeating those words like a quiet guardrail for appetite. It's not a diet, it's a discipline, an invisible line between satisfaction and excess. When you eat, stretch receptors in your stomach send fullness signals to the brain. But those signals take about 15 to 20 minutes to arrive. That means if you eat until you feel full, you've likely already overshot by 20%. In Okinawa, people stop early, letting biology catch up. You could visualize it like pouring water into a glass. Stop at 80%, and there's room for balance. Fill it to the brim, and every drop spills over. Just like energy overflow that becomes stored fat or oxidative stress. Studies on calorie moderation show reduced risks of metabolic diseases, improved insulin sensitivity, and even slower cellular aging. In 2019, researchers at the National Institute on Aging found that moderate calorie restriction extended lifespan in multiple species by dialing down inflammation and oxidative damage. Humans aren't mice, but the mechanism is similar. Less strain on the system, fewer misfires in cell repair. And here's where Japanese wisdom meets modern science beautifully. The Okinawan diet, rich in sweet potatoes, tofu, and leafy greens, is low in calories but high in nutrients. It's fuel without friction. Their plates are colorful, small, and varied. Each bite is a deliberate pause rather than a mindless scoop. Visualize this: a bowl of miso soup steaming beside a handful of pickled vegetables. Each dish is like a brushstroke in balance: sweet, sour, umami, bitter, designed to satisfy the senses before the stomach. But Hara Hachi-bu isn't just about food. It's about awareness. Slowing down enough to listen to your body's signals. In a world of oversized portions and constant snacking, that's revolutionary. Practicing it daily for 30 days changes more than appetite. It changes mindset. After a week, you start noticing the difference between hunger and habit. After 2 weeks, your energy stabilizes. No more post-meal crashes. By week 4, you realize eating less never meant enjoying less. Scientists call this metabolic flexibility. Your body becomes better at shifting between burning glucose and fat. You feel lighter not just physically, but mentally, like your focus isn't buried under a food fog. Hara Hachi-bu turns every meal into a quiet dialogue between body and mind. It's a reminder that longevity doesn't begin with more. It begins with enough. And maybe that's the real secret. When you stop feeding the body to the brim, you leave space for something else to grow. Number 2. Ikigai. In Japan, there's a word for waking up with a reason to keep going. Ikigai. Roughly translated, it means a reason for being. But it's more than motivation. It's the invisible thread connecting what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what sustains you. In the small Okinawan village of Ogimi, often called the Land of Immortals, you'll meet centenarians who still garden, teach, dance, and laugh daily. Ask them their secret and they'll tell you, Ikigai. They don't retire from life, they keep tending to it. Here's the science behind that quiet fire. Studies show that having a clear sense of purpose can reduce the risk of early death by up to 15 to 20%. Research from the University of Michigan tracked thousands of adults over a decade. Those who reported a strong purpose lived longer, even when controlling for income, health, and habits. Why? Because purpose regulates physiology. It lowers cortisol, strengthens immunity, and stabilizes blood pressure. It's as if the body interprets purpose as a signal. We still have work to do. Keep the systems running. Visualize it like a lantern glowing inside you. When you know why you wake up, that flame steadies even through storms. Without it, the light flickers. But Ikigai isn't grand or mystical. You won't always find it on a vision board or in a career change. For many Japanese elders, it's found in small daily acts. A grandmother who folds origami for children, a fisherman who still mends his nets, a neighbor who tends the community garden at sunrise. Each act says, I still matter. And that's the quiet miracle. Ikigai doesn't add years to life, it adds life to years. Trying it for 30 days isn't about reinventing yourself, it's about rediscovering what pulls you forward. Maybe it's a hobby you've abandoned, a friend you haven't called, a morning ritual that centers you. Write it down. Name it. Protect it. Because your body listens to what your heart repeats every day. In Japanese calligraphy, the brushstroke for Ikigai curves upward, like breath rising. That's what purpose does. It lifts you. And when purpose lifts you, you move differently. You breathe deeper. You look up instead of down. That inner light starts to mirror something found outside, in nature's calm rhythms, in sunlight flickering through leaves, in the stillness that reminds you you're part of something bigger. Maybe that's why so many Japanese longevity practices lead you to the forest. Number 3. Shinrin-yoku. In Japan, healing doesn't always come from medicine. Sometimes it comes from trees. The practice is called Shinrin-yoku, literally forest bathing. Not bathing in water, but bathing in air. In green, in quiet. Imagine walking through cedar forests after rain. Each breath feels cleaner, like nature is rinsing static from your mind. The sound of leaves, the rhythm of your steps, the filtered sunlight, all work together like a biological symphony. But this isn't poetry, it's biology. In the 1980s, Japanese researchers noticed that people who spent time in forests had lower heart rates and cortisol levels. Later studies revealed the reason: phytoncides, microscopic compounds released by trees to protect themselves from insects and bacteria. When we inhale them, our bodies respond like tuning forks, vibrating in harmony. Natural killer cells, our immune system's frontline defenders, increase in number and activity for days after exposure. It's like your immune system gets a nature upgrade. And here's the deeper layer. Our nervous system has 2 gears, the sympathetic, fight or flight, and the parasympathetic, rest and restore. Modern life keeps most of us locked in high gear. Shinrin-yoku gently shifts that gear down. Imagine it like a speeding car coasting into neutral. The engine quiets, the road widens, you notice the view again. Even short doses make a difference. A 20-minute walk through greenery can lower blood pressure and boost mood as effectively as some medications. Without side effects, only side piece. Try it for 30 days and patterns begin to change. You sleep more deeply. Thoughts stop clinging so tightly. Creativity reappears in the quiet space between bird calls. Forest bathing isn't about exercise, it's about presence. You're not walking through nature, you're walking with it. Each inhale becomes a handshake with the planet that built you. And the forest doesn't need to be remote. A park, a garden, even a single tree outside your window. Anywhere you can listen, breathe, and slow the noise counts. In Tokyo, office workers practice mini Shinrin-yoku breaks, 5 minutes under trees at lunch. Scientists found that their stress hormone levels drop measurably before they even finish their tea. It's a reminder that longevity isn't just about adding years. It's about expanding moments, and once your body has learned how to slow down, the next step is teaching it to move. Gently, rhythmically, every single day. Number 4. Reigyo Taiso. At 6:30 a.m., across parks, schoolyards, and office courtyards in Japan, the same melody begins to play over radios. A cheerful piano tune, unchanged since 1928. Then, hundreds of people begin to move. Arms stretch wide, knees bend, spines twist in rhythm. It's called Reigyo Taiso, or radio calisthenics. A simple 3-minute routine practiced by millions every morning. It looks effortless, almost playful. But behind those slow swings lies one of Japan's quietest longevity secrets. Here's why it matters. The body is like a stream. When it flows, it stays clear. When it stagnates, things build up. Stiffness, toxins, fatigue. Rajyo Taiso keeps that stream moving. The routine itself is deceptively light. There are no weights, no gym memberships, just gentle stretches, joint rotations, and rhythmic breathing synced to music. It's designed for everyone, children, elders, and workers alike. Science calls it low-intensity functional movement, but its impact runs deep. Regular mobility exercise maintains flexibility, improves balance, and boosts circulation. Researchers from Japan's National Institute of Fitness found that seniors who practiced Rajyo Taiso daily had stronger leg muscles and better cardiovascular endurance than those who didn't. And because it's broadcast publicly, on TV, radio, and even through park speakers, it's also social. People move together, laugh together, bow together. It's exercise without ego, movement as connection. Imagine each joint is like a door hinge. Rajyo Taiso oils every hinge before the day begins, preventing the creaks that come from disuse. Even 3 minutes a day can realign posture, improve blood flow to the brain, and sharpen focus for hours afterward. Some companies in Japan start meetings with it, not as nostalgia, but as neuroscience. Movement before mental work primes the brain, like tuning an instrument before playing. And when you do it for 30 days straight, something subtle happens. Your mornings feel lighter, your breath steadier. You start to look forward to those few minutes of simplicity before screens and noise flood in. It's not about getting fit, it's about staying fluid. A reminder that the human body, like bamboo, is strongest when it's flexible. In Japan, many centenarians still do these movements well past 100. Not because they're chasing youth, but because they've never stopped moving. And when the last note of Rajyo Taiso fades, participants bow, smile, and carry that energy into their day. Often to a shared ritual that warms the hands, sharpens the mind, and protects the heart. A simple cup of tea. Number 5. The green tea ritual. In Japan, longevity can be measured in teacups. Everywhere, from Tokyo's busy offices to Okinawa's quiet porches, you'll find people pausing to pour, sip, and breathe. It's not just hydration, it's a ritual. Green tea, especially the powdered form called matcha, is rich in catechins, powerful antioxidants that protect cells from aging. But science alone doesn't explain its hold on Japanese life. It's how tea is made and shared that turns chemistry into calm. Picture this: a bamboo whisk swirling jade green powder into a bowl. The aroma drifts upward like a slow exhale. You lift the cup with both hands, take a small sip, and time seems to dilate. That's not imagination, it's neurochemistry. Green tea contains L-theanine, an amino acid that increases alpha brainwaves, the same state reached during meditation. Combined with caffeine, it creates what researchers call calm alertness, a focused yet peaceful mental state. It's why monks have used matcha for centuries during long meditation sessions. You can think of caffeine as a spark, and L-theanine as the lens that focuses it, fire without the burn. Drink it daily for 30 days and you start to notice subtle changes. Your mornings feel cleaner, your mind steadier. The jittery peaks and crashes from coffee smooth out into a gentle arc. Each cup becomes less about energy and more about awareness. Green tea's antioxidants, especially EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, act like microscopic shields, protecting cells from oxidative stress. Studies from Kyoto University link regular green tea consumption to lower risks of heart disease and neurodegenerative decline. But beyond molecules, there's meaning. Tea invites slowness. It's the pause between actions, a reminder that longevity isn't only built in the gym or the lab, but in the spaces between effort. When shared, tea becomes a conversation in liquid form. In Japan's Chanoyu, the tea ceremony, every gesture is intentional. The host bows, the guest bows, the steam rises. It's a performance of presence. Respect expressed through rhythm. Try your own version. Set aside one moment each day, no screens, no noise. Just you, the cup, and your breath. As you sip, think of it as polishing your focus, one quiet swirl at a time. And as warmth spreads through your hands, you might notice something else. The human need that threads through every one of these practices: connection. Because even the most mindful tea tastes better when shared. And that's where our final secret of Japanese longevity lives, in the circle of friends who drink it together. Number 6. Moai. In Okinawa, no one grows old alone. From childhood, every person becomes part of a moai, a lifelong circle of friends who support, visit, and care for one another through every stage of life. It's not a club, it's a commitment. Picture a small wooden table on a quiet street. 4 friends meet each week for tea and laughter. One is 92, another 87. They joke about aching knees and share homegrown vegetables. Their smiles have known decades of weather, and still they shine. That's moai, a living safety net made of human threads. Science confirms what they've practiced for centuries: connection protects. A study from Brigham Young University found that strong social relationships increase longevity by 50%, the same benefit as quitting smoking. Loneliness, on the other hand, raises mortality risk more than obesity or lack of exercise. Our bodies are wired for belonging. When we feel connected, oxytocin levels rise, stress hormones fall, and blood pressure stabilizes. It's as if every kind word or shared laugh tells your nervous system, "You're safe. Keep thriving." In Japan, moai groups pool money to help members in need. But more importantly, they pool their presence. They show up for births, funerals, storms, and celebrations. The emotional stability this creates ripples into health. Elders in moai networks have lower rates of dementia, depression, and heart disease. Visualize it like this. Each friend is a candle. Alone, they flicker. Together, they resist the wind. In modern life, where connection often means a glowing screen instead of a shared meal, moai reminds us that true longevity isn't just about extending lifespan. It's about deepening life space. Try building your own version. Start small. A weekly walk with a neighbor, a standing dinner with friends, a group chat that leads to real conversation. Over 30 days, that consistency becomes community. Because the longest-lived people don't just eat wisely or move daily, they belong somewhere. They're seen, heard, and needed. And that belonging creates invisible resilience. When one member falls ill, others deliver soup. When one is grieving, the group listens. No one is left to weather life alone, and maybe that's why they keep living it longer. Moai teaches us that longevity isn't just a personal pursuit. It's a shared project. One heartbeat syncing with another, forming a quiet rhythm that time can't erode. And as the laughter fades, the teacups empty, and the day softens into evening, one truth remains. It's not the years that make life long. It's the company we keep along the way, because when purpose, movement, mindfulness, and community weave together, you don't just live longer, you live deeper. For centuries, Japan has quietly held the secrets of longevity, not in pills or machines, but in daily choices. We've seen it: the mindful restraint of hara hachi-bu, the deep sense of ikigai that gives every morning meaning, the restorative embrace of shinrin-yoku, the gentle rhythm of ragyo taiso, the meditative pause in a cup of green tea, and the sustaining bond of moai. Each practice alone is powerful. Together, they create a blueprint for living fully, a harmony between body, mind, and heart. Picture it like a symphony. Each instrument plays its own note: the slow, deliberate pluck of a string, the clear tone of a flute, but the music only emerges when they play in concert. That's your body, your mind, your spirit, orchestrated through daily habits. Science and tradition converge here. Calorie moderation reduces cellular stress. Purpose regulates your physiology. Nature lowers cortisol. Movement preserves function. Mindfulness sharpens the mind. Social connection strengthens resilience. And in the quiet spaces where all these intersect, longevity blooms naturally. Here's the most inspiring part. These aren't secrets reserved for the few. They're practices anyone can begin today. Start small, eat just a little less, take a mindful walk in the park, stretch for 3 minutes, sip tea without distraction, check in on a friend. One habit, one day at a time, begins to compound. After 30 days, you won't just feel different. You'll see the world differently. Energy stabilizes, focus sharpens, stress softens. And you'll understand that timeless style isn't about vanity, it's about harmony. Your journey doesn't end here. The habits of centuries can become your habits. And the beauty of it? You get to shape them, adapt them, make them your own. So here's your challenge. Try one practice tomorrow. One, just one. See how your body responds, your mind, your heart. Notice the pause, the breath, the connection. Then add another the next day. Let curiosity, not pressure, guide you. Because longevity isn't a distant goal, it's a daily dialogue with your body and the world around you. And the longer you listen, the fuller life becomes. So eat mindfully, move gently, breathe deeply, sip slowly, find your purpose, nurture your bonds, and watch as the years stretch gracefully, not as numbers, but as moments lived with intention, clarity, and joy. Your 30-day journey starts now.